I feel like in the interview with Young Pharaoh, bro, I realized that his self awareness is kind of gone because he didn't realize when he got off track. You know what I'm saying? I realized that like his articulation is there, his passion is there, his energy is still there, but his mind and his ability to be able to be self aware on what people how people is perceiving him and what he's saying, I realized that that's gone. It's not a bad thing that he lost his mind because that's his journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And if you lost your mind, you will never know that you lost your mind because in your head, you know what you're doing. But he started talking about so many different things that I'm like, this is not the question I asked, and this has no relevance to nothing going on. And it's okay, you know what I'm saying? That's his journey. He has things to
yeah,
learn in this journey. To this young Pharaoh, he has a chosen essence. It might
yeah,
take a year, 2 years, 3 years, but he's going to come back to understand like, okay, I'm tripping. But that takes vulnerability and that takes accountability. And like a lot of people that's like strong like that has a strong voice and a strong passion, that's the hardest thing for them to do because their essence comes from being so powerful, being so confident. So him saying I was wrong or I'm tripping or I lost my mind, that might be a long time. But it
yeah.
was
Our family, we now back. We got ourselves the one and only Rell chosen,
yes,
one of the
sir.
conscious spiritual creators in the game right now. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
He's smart. He's a Scorpio focused. So, man, like one thing I want to say is, where have you been this whole time? Like people are wondering, like you're like up there with arcades. When you and arcades were coming up, y'all were like taking over the whole community, and it came
Right.
a lot of energy. I know y'all young, so it's like y'all was transforming a lot. And first thing I asked you was, where have you been?
Bro, I really just been in the dark, bro. I've been in my shadow, you know what I'm saying? Like when you doing shadow work, you really can't be in the light. It's two opposites, you know what I'm saying? It's like me doing real work required the sacrifice of me being seen. It required the sacrifice of me being validated. It required the sacrifice of me having the same life I always had because we don't understand that everything that we're running from is still there. And if you want to face that shadow, you can't do it while you're doing the same life that you have every day. You really need to take time out for yourself and work on that dark, scary shadow because there's no distractions when you're in the shadow. You have to literally embrace the shadow like you embrace the light. When it's time to have fun, when it's time to make content, when it's time to do what you love to do, you do it to the fullest. And when it's time to do that shadow, you can't do that a little bit and then still live no, you have to embrace both to the fullest. So it's like the more that I was working on myself externally, I was working out every day, I was reading, I was taking my herbs, eating healthy. The more I did that, it was the more that I unlocked the next phase to my development. It was like the next journey to my evolvement, and that took me internally. It took me to the dark side. So it's like I built up enough strength to be able to focus on my insecurities, focus on my shadow, and focus on my what I've been running from. And that took me from the light. It took me from the world. It took me from everything that I love to do, and it took a while to do it. I couldn't rush the journey. I had to go through it with my facing everything. And it's like now I feel like I'm overcoming it. It took a while, but I finally overcame it, and I'm better than ever.
Hey, I love to hear, in the conscious community, like arcades, me, you, a lot of people are starting to really tap into their authenticity.
Hell yeah.
He was telling me recently that it's a very potent frequency. And
Man, what? Bro, I don't think people realize that authenticity is more powerful than spirituality. When it came to spirituality, you had to learn about spirituality. When it comes to authenticity, you have to remove. So it's like people don't understand that you being spiritual is you being authentic. You're already spiritual. You're already abundant. You're already everything that you want. So you don't have to learn and practice things. All you have to do is remove things. So something I learned in this journey is that removal and sacrifice is harder than doing. That's why nobody wants to remove. You working out every day and you taking life extra serious, it's easier than you sacrificing a bad habit. People will literally work out every single day before they give up meat. People will do the most hardest shit before they remove the smallest things because we are already that. We are already everything that we're manifesting, but because we're so attached to our life, we can't remove attachment. Detachment is the hardest feeling in the entire world. That's why death is the saddest thing to experience. That's why you can't give up what you love to do, but you can add so much shit to your life. because the real power is in removal. So that's something I've been practicing. I've been sacrificing everything that I love to do, and I've been challenging myself. A lot of people don't know I deleted my account. I deleted my social media. They give you 30 days to reactivate it, but I wasn't thinking about that when I deleted it. When I deleted it, I made the mental choice to give up Real Chosen. Everything that came from this shit, everything that I love to do, everything, all my posting, I still made that choice to sacrifice it because I believe that I have a purpose to help people. I believe that I have a chosen essence. I don't believe that I'm a social media influencer. So because of that, I put it to the test like real. If you believe that you're chosen, if you believe that you're meant to help people, you can delete your account. You can still fulfill your purpose. So me doing that, I feel like I was able to prove to the divine creator that I believe who I say I am. And later on in that 30-day journey, I wasn't even thinking about reactivating it, but so much signs came up in my life to reactivate my account. So now I feel like I could to still get the benefits from proving myself and I get to have my account back. But mentally, I'm detached from the entire world because I know who I am now. I'm living internally rather than externally.
Hey, that right there is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Because social media could be very toxic nowadays. Being an influencer, it's a lot of opinions, criticism,
Man,
and
but
you gotta have a certain mindset to be on the internet. Like that's without a fact. Like if you don't got like a lot of people become like numb to people's opinions and comments, but
facts.
you literally like start to become like your skin gets very thick.
Man, we about to get deep here. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like people don't understand that when you're on social media, you're operating in the lowest version of who you really are, because your most potent version is your most authentic version, and you naturally nerf your most authentic version when you go on social media because you have a subconscious wanting to be validated. You can't be as weird as you want to be, as creative as you want to be. You can't wear the clothes that you want to wear. You can't say the things that you want to say. So you're naturally numb to your lowest version by being on social media every day, because once you're off social media for a long period of time, your brain naturally forgets that the world is out there. Every day that we're on social media, we're seeing thousands of people and thousands of lives, and we hopping on so many trends. We're looking at the comments, so we're all subscribed to one wavelength. And when you're on everybody else's wavelength, you're off your own wavelength. And your own wavelength is where your power is. That's why all these celebrities and trendsetters, they don't live by the world. All these weird people that wear clothes differently, they got different type of tattoos. They're not of the world. They are the trendsetters. So to be your most powerful authenticity, you have to be off social media, because now your brain goes back into what was weird to you is now normal to you, because nothing is really weird. Only thing that's weird is how other people perceive it. So when you're off social media, you become weird, but you become powerful. So it's your job to bring your weirdness to the world and make it cool, because everything was once weird until it was accepted by the world. So yeah, but that's something I learned being off social media, is that you become completely different the longer you're off social media.
Yeah,
You're way more
right.
pure, authentic, all that shit.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like part of like you could say like the age of Aquarius. Me myself, I feel very weird sometimes just because I'm into astrology and stuff like that. And these are things that
Yeah,
I like, right? But you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I got a network of people that follow me because of astrology. But then
yeah,
also some people who, label me weird, or they be like, hey, he's taboo, or he's these are things that because the internet is open to anybody. Anybody can come on the internet, a Karen, a Christian, a
yeah,
Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So when you're on the internet, you're open to a lot of different energies. You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah.
like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
And
being a
not even
spirit,
just astrology, like astrology and spirituality, we had to break the barrier of being weird to even enter into that. So now it's cool. So now we accept, okay, now I can be free. We forgot that we have a personality that's weird. We have thoughts that's weird. We have thoughts that's not accepted. We have perceptions that's not accepted. So now we're scared to keep that. We don't express that because now we have a fan base. Now we have friends and girls that follow us. Now we have all this, everybody. We all have we acquire a social media community that we don't want to lose. So we hide that authentic and versatile version of our creation, expression, perspectives, all kind of shit. So that's why Now, to be authentic, you have to tap into your cringe, tap into everything that you're holding back because everybody has it, no matter what. We are all too different to be the same. I
Yeah,
shouldn't be looking just like the average YN. I shouldn't be looking like the
yeah.
average person. The girl that I see on my Instagram, she shouldn't look like every other girl in that state. That's because we're all on the same wavelength. We have to break free from that wavelength and be as powerful as possible by being as different as possible. That's how you
Yeah.
get everything that you want. That's how you break that blockage of becoming rich, of becoming famous, or becoming, a magnetic pull to females or whatever you want is all in your true self.
Wow, that's a hey, everybody watching, let's get a thumbs up for this show featuring Real Chosen because this is a good episode. I can just feel the authenticity, the potent frequency just coming through the energy. So,
For sure.
like when I think of authenticity, one of the first things I think of the Age of Aquarius. The Age of Aquarius is something that is ruling authenticity, and since we're in
Yeah.
the Age of Aquarius, it's like I feel like you're one of these pivotal people and you arcades or y'all are coming out and showing people, man, be yourself. Like that's like
Yeah.
it don't matter. Like shock the world. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
Exactly.
want to make music. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? But do anything that's
Yeah.
going to shock the world because um in astrology, Aquarius rules shocking. It rules shocking. Like it likes to shock people. So we're
Right.
being authentic sometimes comes with shocking people.
Facts.
You know.
Facts. And I
So
feel like when you shock people, you're basically breaking free from the same perception that they always had of you. Because the bigger the shock, the better it is. Because for you, it's always been you. When you shock somebody, you're not doing anything that you wouldn't do, but you're doing something that's always been there of you. So it's like I feel like humiliation is the era that we're in because humiliation allows your true, authentic, and creative self to flourish. If you're humiliated, you don't have to keep up a perception no more. You don't have to fit. You don't have to be liked no more. And the more that you're not liked, it's the less that you care. And the less that you care, is the more that you go up. It's the more that you can be creative. It's the more that you can be yourself. Our care is keeping us in a box because care is a protection from your nervous system from being exposed. Growing up, we always thought that being exposed was a bad thing. So every time we would say something different or wear something different and our peers didn't like it, our nervous system got shocked. It's like, oh shit, okay, let me ball up. Okay, so now that you're balled up internally, you ball up externally. You want to be liked now because now you don't want to be exposed. So the goal is to get back to be humiliated so you have nothing to lose. And guess what? When you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. That's when you become as fully magnetic as possible. You can get your desires now because you have no wants. If you have nothing to lose, you have nothing to want, and you're fulfilled by self. That it all goes back to everything that the spiritual people is chasing and not attracting. It's all about just being your purest self, and you will get all the knowledge you need, all the desires you want. You will be done with this whole journey of life and now you can live because we're not living, we're learning. Spirituality is about learning. But in the reality, only thing we gotta do is be in the present moment. That's where life starts. So this spiritual shit is about to end for everybody that's ready. Now it's time to live life. We have how long do we need to learn about crystals and need to learn about the most basic shit that we've been learning for years? Now it's time to start living life and being in the present moment.
wow, that's powerful, real. I appreciate the authenticity and the energy
Of
that you
course.
give. So
Of
one thing I
course.
want to ask you is, are you still vegan?
I'm vegan, but I'm transitioning to not giving a fuck about labels. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
I'm a healthy eater. So I feel like now that I established 5 years and being healthy and being vegan, I want to start branching off into seeing how different foods affect my body. You know what I'm saying? I experimented with salmon. I experimented with eggs. I experimented with different things because you gotta pay attention to the feeling that a lot of people felt when you heard me say that. Wait, that's bad. That's this. That's this. Like why are we such in a box when it comes to our diet? That goes back to not being free because even me, I told you that shit was bad and then you stopped eating it. I heard that shit was bad in the beginning of my journey and I stopped eating it. So that's not freedom. That's not spirituality. That's called fear. So now it's taking. I'm gonna start learning for myself what my body likes and what my body don't like. It's about just being free. Same thing with life. Learn what works, learn what doesn't work. Don't have nobody else tell you what works and what doesn't. That takes away your freedom. That takes away your experience. But nah, yeah, I'm a healthy eater though. I'm gonna focus on being healthy more than being vegan.
Yeah, that's interesting. As far as herbs, what's some of the favorite herbs you like to use?
Um, consistently, um, honestly, I don't really have any go tos. Like I just take teas a lot. I just drink a lot of teas. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even like if I look at because of course I'm educated on herbs, but I'm not strict on herbs. So if I go to the store and I go down the tea aisle and I see a herb for this, I just look at the big words: boost mood, boost clarity, etc., etc. I'm not really consistent on the herbs. I'm consistent on what I need for my body at that time. So it's like since I got to that state, I'm more consistent with my herbs. When I was back in the day when I first learned about herbs, I'm like, oh, I want to sleep longer. I want to have less anxiety. I want to have longer sex sessions. So I would get all these herbs for that, and I wouldn't care about the health itself. Now I care about the health itself, and I just get herbs like whatever I want it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really too strict on the education of it or
Yeah,
like the names of it.
yeah. That's definitely powerful. So, what was like
Hmm.
when you were going on your social media run? You went from like 100K to 200K. I think you're
Hmm.
at 300K now.
No, I'm still
Oh,
at
yeah,
210.
okay.
Yeah.
How was your spiritual run going? How was it like? Would you feel like it was a very healthy process for you, or was it toxic a little bit? Was it like how was that run for you?
Remember that video I made August 2022 when I said I'm done with spirituality?
Yeah,
That was the last spiritual video I made, and people didn't realize it
but
because of the box they have me in. So that's why I could post certain things, and they would still think I thought you were spiritual. I literally told y'all I'm done with spirituality. So what I did was, number one, I found out spirituality. I outgrew it in February 2022. But then the leap of faith was, damn, real. If you not in it, how the hell you gonna make videos? Because your videos was based off spirituality. So for like 3 months, I was learning how to transition out of spirituality, but then I realized, like, real, they love you. They don't love they don't love spirituality. They love how you make them feel. So all I did was just make videos on how to help people, and then they still thought it was spirituality based, but it's not. It's just basic common knowledge about life. So for the past like 2 3 years, I haven't been making videos on spirituality. Only things that I got myself through, and then I wanted to help other people go through it. But yeah, it's been like a fun journey. It was I realized spirituality is so fun to learn because it's entertainment. You're hearing about a supernatural, powerful world that's real. So it's like every day you're living a superhero movie. It's like every day you're learning like a magic movie. You're living it. So it's like it's so entertainment. You hearing about the Illuminati. You hearing about the elites, blood sucking reptilians. It's like, bro, oh my god, it's like I'm living a fantasy. It's like an entertainment movie, and that's why nobody wants to question it. Because you just risk your whole afterlife to jump into spirituality. Why the hell would you question spirituality? But you have to question spirituality and realize, like, nigga, this is another religion. This is another man's teachings. Everything you learned about spirituality was outside of yourself on the phone. You have to question that again and make yourself uncomfortable by being in the unknown to the new downloads can come to you. That's how you find out what really is real and what's another man's teaching. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
you don't need me. You don't need anybody on the phone. You need yourself. That's the whole point. The whole point of jumping into spirituality was questioning your previous beliefs. Now you have to question your beliefs again till you realize I don't even need beliefs. I have the compass internally.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? That's why
yeah,
I never fit in that box too long. Like I never wore crystals for too long. I never was proper for too long, saying certain words for too long. Cause I'm like, hold on, my soul don't feel right. This feels like I'm being forced to fit a certain lifestyle. But if you're a chosen one, you will naturally grow out of it when it's time. A lot of people, it's not a bad thing because it's like training wheels to whenever you're ready, you can be free again. Because you can't keep scaring your nervous system. You can't keep scaring your brain to be uncomfortable and to not know what's going on because that's how you break down. You want to gradually get your training wheels until you can see, okay, it's more than this. Let me leave that behind and flourish again. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And I want to touch
Uh,
on psychosis. Like the problem
yeah,
with
psychosis. I was
psychosis.
going to say, yeah, psychosis.
Okay.
We talk about psychosis. How a lot of people in the spiritual community, about quarters, some people believe about 50%, have spiritual psychosis, and that's basically when you wake up. Well, I've had it before. You wake
Yeah,
up,
we all had it.
you do the psychedelics, you do the whatever, and then you start thinking everybody's out to get you. You start
Yeah.
just really just thinking everybody's just evil, and sometimes you just don't trust a soul. You know, and
Yeah,
sometimes,
exactly.
and that's
See,
why you see a lot of people. oh, this person sell out, this person's this.
Exactly,
Bro, we
exactly.
just normal people.
Right, literally though. See, the problem with psychosis is that it's literally psychosis. It's just the fact that you got there in a healthy way, but you didn't realize how lost you was because everything that got you up there, you trusted. So now you trust everything that comes from that path, but you don't realize that you lost your balance because everything was working so good. Everything was so love and light and positive. You think that you're still love and light and positive, and you still think that you're just you're a Neo that broke out the matrix, and everybody else around you is wrong. But the deeper that you go without questioning yourself, is the deeper that you get into psychosis because it's your brain. The problem with psychosis and spirituality is that spirituality is intelligent. Spirituality makes sense. It's so logical. So now you're logically backing up your psychosis. You have enough fuel to protect your psychosis. You think that everybody that doesn't agree with you is a bot. You think that everything that goes outside of what you just learned, oh, that's just the old way of thinking. That's just the matrix way of thinking. So now you're so protected in that logic that you don't realize I'm fucking crazy now. So everybody has to go through psychosis. It's just the fact that only a certain amount of people gets to break out of that psychosis and learn from psychosis and learn from their old ways of thinking. But it takes courage. It takes uncomfort. Because if you think that you're so smart, you only get smarter and only get better by learning, unlearning what you learned that make you smart. That's how you know if you're really meant to be chosen. It's questioning your beliefs. Because like I said, removal is harder than adding. You would rather learn all this new shit than question one thing that you learned that's keeping you stable. But that's how you grow. If you know everything, you have no room to learn. So that's why it's always best to question your beliefs, bro.
Yeah. One thing I say is that a lot of people when they do go through psychosis, it's also a lot of ungrounding that they go through. They're not grounded. They open up the third eye chakra first. The root chakra is
Yeah,
still open, still not really open. And then that's what I did too. Like I woke up, like I learned about the reptilians and stuff
yeah,
first, and then I learned about all the grounding later, which you're supposed to learn about the grounding first, then learn about the woke shit. But the woke shit makes people crazy, and
yeah,
the spiritual community is very close to the psycho community. It's very close
yeah.
to
It's a thin line, bro.
yeah, it's a very thin line. Like a lot of people in the spiritual community go to psych wards and mental hospitals. It's a real thing. So that's why it's like, being in the spiritual community, you gotta understand you're in a community where people can be mentally ill or just perfect. They're not perfect, but they can have control or they
Right,
cannot have control. If
right.
you're in the 2K community, I mean, of course, it's other things like, but the spiritual community is like, you are exposed in the spiritual community. You are
Yeah,
so that's why, and for all the influencers, you gotta understand this being a spiritual community, you gotta understand what you're dealing with, man. It ain't no regular
facts,
piece.
facts, bro. Now it's like it's all up to you. Like if you get yourself into something you can't get out of, it's up to you. You can't pray that shit away. You can't call on nobody because you're already too deep in. So that's why it's
Yeah,
important to do this shit patiently and understand that it's always more to learn. You don't got it all figured out. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
Always
yeah,
leave room to question yourself.
yeah. Always being a student is key. That's something that I love to do. And that's how we grow as a student. Even though I like to teach, I'm also still a student. I'm still learning things. So
Facts.
people can't. I'm still learning. Like I mean, there's some
Right.
things I've learned, but I'm still learning.
Right.
So
It's like it's
yeah,
never ending journey, bro. The more you learn, the more that you learn that you gotta learn. You feel what I'm saying? I learned that the most learning comes from questioning. You feel what I'm saying? Questioning what you learn helps you learn even more because it gives you more space to learn what you learn and your own intuition on top of what you learn. That's how I became
mm,
real chosen. I didn't just
mm,
learn things and regurgitate. I questioned what I learned and then I got the actual root of the truth that I was learning and I was able to put my articulation on it. So it's all about just questioning, leaving room open. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I really want to touch on what you said about the sellouts and shit like that, bro. Like, that's something that, to be honest, bro, I believe 3 out of 10 people is a sellout in the industry because
okay,
I thought in my head that everybody that was famous that was in these rooms that was doing all this shit sold they sold. But that's why
yeah,
I feel like the divine put me in the position to be around these people and to talk to these people to see it from a different perspective and actually get certain opportunities that most people thought that I had to sell my soul to get. But in reality, it's all about who you know. You, bro, some people that sold they soul it's a small community, but it has a big influence. And a lot of people are just minions of the people that did sell their soul. So a lot of people is not in the group, but they are puppets for the people that is in the group. So you could think that this nigga big as hell, he must sell his soul, but he just a puppet of somebody that did sell their shit. And he think he just marketing. He think he just doing the right thing. He don't even know nothing about that shit. That's why the that people that say that they sold, that's why the responses be so clueless. It's like, what are y'all talking about? Like they genuinely in their head don't know what's going on. But on the outside looking in, because they got so much motion and meeting all these elites, they think that they sold. It's deeper than that,
So
bro.
when you talk about, are you talking about like celebrities? Or you talking about spiritual soul?
Celebrities.
Okay.
Celebrities, like people that's already that you would think that had sold, they didn't. They just know the right people and meeting the right people, so they're on the right platforms. But they are still controlled because the people that did sell their soul is telling them what to do and telling them what to say. They didn't, you know what I'm saying, do the
Yeah.
rituals or nothing because that's how they get to that next level, and that's why a lot of people fall off. So yeah, bro, and I realized like I was questioning like why the hell do people protect that shit so much? Like I would tell people like I didn't sell my soul. It's like yes you did. Like why are you protecting it so much if I'm telling you I didn't? And I realized that's because you're ruining their imagination. They don't know in the back of their head it's entertainment to them. Hearing about oh
Mm.
you in with the devil, you know, you in with the reptilians, all that shit. It's like a scary movie. So they want to keep their imagination going. And if you lie to if you tell them anything that goes outside of that, it's like you're lying. It's like, no, you're wrong. I'm right. Like nigga, you're behind your phone. It's like you're protecting their illusion. So it's just something that they gotta learn on their own, bro, honestly.
Hey, bro, I'll say this, man. You are too smart. You are too smart. I know you are
Appreciate that,
Scorpio.
bro.
Scorpios are really intelligent. Because
That's crazy.
they study the hard truth. So
The
yeah, you're
hard
right
truth.
about that. I do realize, like, yeah, people have what's something called like cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when they hear something that's against their belief, they immediately be like, nah, 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 nah.
Exactly. Even after they woke up, even after they become woke, they have a stronger cognitive dissonance because now they think
Stronger,
they're
yeah.
woke. Exactly.
Especially like a lot of people in the spiritual community. You probably heard about these other cultures like that worship this person or worship this person. They're spiritual, like the Hebrew Israelites and other, Islam. They're spiritual, but like there's a lot of religious organizations inside the spiritual community, and
Yeah.
I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that,
Yeah.
bro. No religion. I was grew up in religion. Anytime I see anything religious, oh, you supposed to do this, you supposed to do that. I immediately rebel against that. I'm naturally
Exactly.
like that. So it's
It's the
like,
opposite of freedom, and life is about freedom. So everything
right.
that keeps you in a box is like demonic in a sense. That's why you repel it.
Right, right. So that's why it's like I'm glad that we both can relate on that. That we understand that okay, we're spiritual, but we don't want to be like even Ifa. People get into Ifa. That's like a whole African spirituality. That's a religion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like nothing wrong with
Yeah.
Ifa, but
It's
that's
a
a
religion.
religion. I'm not doing no Ifa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so, it's like anything that's like, and it got goes for any other thing where people start wearing worshiping and only following one person and be like, this is the master teacher that I only follow. This is the master teacher. This is the master teacher. This is the master teacher. Like, nigga,
Yeah.
still, they still die right now. And I'm not saying like, they're powerful,
Right.
but they still die right now. So a lot of people have a worship gene and they still worship these people that are on planet Earth. And I'm like, bro, why are you worshiping them so much? Like, I've never
Right.
gave my power so much to a master teacher. I look at them and I love them, but I
Facts.
understand like they're still in a human body. So that means that
Exactly.
they're still like going through an experience like me. And the body, their human body belongs to Earth. So my human body belongs to Earth. I'm not even this body. I'm the soul. So
Right.
all bodies belong to planet Earth, bro. So it's like, we can't really look at somebody else and try to idolize them and be like they're this and that. But it's like you gotta understand, like they're just a soul. They're the soul. So if anything, connect and honor their soul, not the body.
Yeah. It's like Jesus all over again. It's
You
like
just yeah,
how, you know what I'm
yes,
saying? Jesus tried to tell people that the kingdom of God is within you. I'm trying to get you to go within yourself, but because I'm doing it so good, nigga, you worshiping me and waiting for me to move so you can follow how I'm doing when I'm trying to tell you to look within yourself. So now that's where you get the Dr. Yorks, the young pharaohs, the spiritual souls, the real chosens
yes,
that's trying to help
right,
you out, but you so stuck on them that you're not listening to what's coming out our mouth. So that's
right.
why it's all about just following yourself and understand that you have to trust yourself.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people like those teachers you said, like a lot of people they just they go crazy. They're like, oh my gosh, you should think about him. that's Jesus to me. Like it's just Christianity all over again, and that's why like
Thanks.
that's why like really like when I seen that part of the spiritual community, the religious side of it, I immediately knew that I was like, oh, this is what we're cooked. Like what I'm saying. And
Yeah, bro.
I do detach myself from the spiritual community a lot because I understand that there's a lot of religious mindsets to it. I
Hmm.
believe that everybody's entitled to their own belief, but at the
Yeah, and
same
let me tell you something, not to cut you. That
yeah,
Beyond 5D is life. Don't get caught up in thinking that you're spiritual, because I can tell you right now, you have a plug to the source. You're not a spiritual brand. You are the source brand. So don't
yeah,
ever like protect and think that this is out of spirituality or this is out of astrology. Because no, people come to you to learn. So that means
yeah,
you're free. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can do whatever. If you feel like this won't
yeah,
help people, if you feel like seeing a dog hump each other can help people like teach about life, do it. Because it's not spirituality that we're chasing or that we're teaching. We're teaching freedom and life.
yeah. Freedom is key because even five, your life at five,
Yeah.
life at five is freedom. I mean, beyond 5D, five is freedom. So
Yeah, yeah.
when you actually name your brand something, you start to embody that energy. And I do love freedom. That doesn't mean I'm
Hmm.
like a reckless person and I just break the rules. No, I just love freedom to where it's like if you try to like restrict me and try to like put me in chains and like you do this, I'm like, whoa. Like that's all. I just don't want to be
Exactly.
in, like that's all. Like I'm still gonna
That's why I
be
got the
righteous.
face tat that say free.
Right, right. People
You know what
think
I'm
freedom
saying?
is
I wanted
bad.
to I wanted to get a tattoo. Say it again.
Oh no, no. I was saying people think freedom is bad because they think it's like, oh, you're gonna like, be unrighteous and just be like worldly.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's not where that's the negative side of freedom. The positive
Right.
side of freedom, when someone's righteous, is just really just they don't want to be confined to chains, and they just want to really embody their true authenticity and live a life that allows them to figure out what they want. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Exactly.
people want to follow multiple like spiritualities or multiple traditions. Like some people want to look into Buddhism, and some people want to look into other things. You know what I'm saying? Or like they don't want to be tied to like just equal. They want to look into Buddhism and then African spirituality, and they want to look into the Chinese spirituality. Let's say they want to go down all the paths. That is
Hmm.
freedom when you want to look into everything, not just be tied
Yes.
into like, oh, let's just only do Chinese spirituality and Chinese. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And I feel like people don't understand that when it comes to freedom, it's all types of freedom. Freedom is not also peace, love, and light, because freedom is on the other side of fear, because all fear is the protection of freedom. The reason why fear is a thing, because it protects you from the opposite of protection. You feel what I'm
mhm,
saying? That's
yeah,
why it disguises itself as fear. But most time, 9 times out of 10, what's on the other side is positive love and light. So
yeah,
it dresses up as fear, so you don't do it. So that's
yeah,
why people are scared to leave their job. They're scared to express themselves. They're scared to do what they want to do because their nervous system protects them, and that protection is called fear. So everybody want to be free, but nobody want to face their fears. To be free, you have to face your fears. That's what causes freedom. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You have to be
yeah.
able to challenge your beliefs and challenge the things that's keeping you protected. You have to open up everything and be free. That's how you get everything that you want.
Right, right. So that's exactly with certain people who want freedom in the community. It's not that they want freedom overall. They just want freedom with their beliefs. That's all they
Right.
want. Like me, I'm something like I just want freedom with my belief, with what I think.
Yeah.
But people in the spiritual community, they don't. They want to tie you down with what you believe. Like, no, you believe
Yes.
this. Like they want
Yes.
to put chains on your beliefs.
And
That's
they
why
think
a
they
lot of
free.
right. They're not. Yeah.
They
That's why
think
a
they
lot of
free.
right. A lot of people have like a what's the word? They have like a rigid mindset. They're very rigid and they have like a rigid spirituality,
Yeah.
and that's like I said, more like religious, but they have like they're not really like open minded and
Yeah.
free. And, like I don't know, did you grow up in religion?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I
Strong
gained
Christian.
that could you grew up strongly?
Yeah, a strong Christian.
Yeah, yeah, me too. So that makes us now more. It gives us. I studied this too. Like when someone grows up in religion, a strong religion, when they get older, when they see other religious organizations, they rebel against it naturally because they already seen how they can read between the lines easier,
Yeah.
like all the bullshit. So us being grown up in religion, we can read between the lines very easily when we see like religious mindsets. Like we saw
Yeah. Exactly.
Other people who like didn't grow up in religion, you know what I'm saying, or they're not, when they get really when they get into these things, they're like, oh, you know, let's just, you know, let's do this and do that. But we already used to like seeing how you can be brainwashed and tie down and have mental chains.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And like it followed us. I feel like the same that condition followed us in spirituality because everything that we're talking about, we kind of was at one point in time too. We was thinking that it was a right or wrong. We was thinking that it was a label. We thought that you had to eat meat. We thought that you had to wear crystals. So it's like as soon we coming
Yeah,
freshly out of that rigid strict religion programming, we attached it to spirituality. But that's because we had to get the training wheels. We just jumped from something that was so secure, so structured, then we jumped into more freedom. So we brought the training wheels to the freedom, but now we at the end of that ride. So we realized, like, hold on, bro, I can actually eat meat again. Like, I can do this again. Because now I have enough faith in myself to not go off tracks. That's what the whole point of spirituality was, to get us to have faith in ourselves and know right from wrong on a deeper level. So now it's time to spread our wings and really explore life and see things for ourselves. It's like we growing
yeah,
up. It's like just like how you grow up when you turn 18, your parents let you move out. We're moving out with spirituality and becoming our true self. It's gonna
yeah,
take us
yeah.
farther than spirituality.
I like how you said that. You said there's authenticity, and then you also said that there's
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you said there's spirituality and there's authenticity. So you said that
Mm-hmm.
authenticity is the next level to spirituality, and I definitely
Facts.
agree because like when you spiritual, you know, it's like I was one time I was wearing a lot of crystals. I was wearing 4 or 5 crystals. You see me in 2022
Yeah.
when I was doing that. I was like a crystal freak, and then one day I woke up and I was like, yo, wait a second, this I don't just feel like
That makes you uncomfortable, you have to start sitting with the uncomfort because the uncomfort is the true you. It's your true potent energy, but it's just the hardest to face. So it's uncomfortable. If you have a bad problem with confrontation, with being vulnerable, with forgiving, all of that shit is what makes you way stronger. So you have to like get it like a scenario is going to present to you to where you have to do that. Now that you're conscious to it, you're going to have a scenario to where you might have to be confrontational, or you might have to forgive, or you might have to be vulnerable. You want to sit with it, make it a part of you, and watch how powerful you feel. It's like now your true energy will start radiating to you because everything is stored now. That's what's called your shadow. Everything that you run from becomes stored in like in a small chakra of your energy. You have to feel that uncomfort because all that uncomfort is your energy rising up. So now you're more pure. You're not running from nothing no more. You don't have shadows. That's why a lot of people read people and don't like them off the bat. You're reading their shadows. That's what makes you inauthentic. That's why it might just be something off about somebody because they're running from their negative emotions. But it's a reason why people don't want to face their negative emotions because that's where your true power is. It's the balance of life. So keep facing your negative emotions. Keep facing your cringe. Keep facing everything that you don't want to accept about yourself and watch how you start to love yourself unconditionally. That's how you fully not care about what nobody thinks. Because everybody swear they don't care about what nobody thinks, but they don't realize that you're unconsciously protecting the shit that really makes you not care. It makes you be able to scream in the middle of a store. It makes you able to go up to any girl, make a video at any time. It gets rid of all insecurity once you feel those emotions.
Hey, that's powerful. We're definitely in
Shit
a
gets
time
so
where
deep.
we're definitely in a time, real, where there is a lot of insecurities on the internet, and when you put yourself out there, people gonna throw the insecurities on you. You know what I'm saying? Natural, this is naturally. So, it's like what you were saying definitely is facts, and also like practicing, like not taking it personal, just doing things that's like understanding like your mind. Like we take care of our body, but we also got to take care of our mind as
Facts.
well, and
That's the
taking care
most
of our mind.
important part. Yeah.
Yeah, the mind. Like, people always say, oh, spiritual. But you could be spiritually protected, but your mind alone is a different, is different.
Facts.
So
Facts.
you
And that's
got,
why so many narcissists in the community. There's so many bad people that's like that you don't want to be around in this community because they think they're good. They think that the easy shit they're doing is makes up for all the shit that they're running from. But in reality, if you was to do the shit that you're running from, everybody would love to be around you. You will hardly have people that don't like you because you accept what you don't like about yourself and you turn it into good energy. So it's impossible to dislike you. You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And that's why like a lot of people might be strong or might be in the gym a lot. They might always do a lot of hard things, but they never do the hardest thing just by questioning and knowing they was wrong. That's vulnerability. Like, damn, I was wrong. I did that the wrong way, or I did do this too much. Like being able to do that takes the real strength, and that's what the real power
Yeah,
is.
accountability. That's
Yes.
come up with a video about that. Accountability is like honestly one of the things that it does make you. I feel like this is my take. When I do my shadow work, accountability is what is the foundation of shadow work. Like you can't
Facts.
do true shadow work without accountability because you always going to
Facts.
be victim. Sometimes playing victim is bad because it's like if
Hell,
you play
yes.
victim, you like never wrong. You never wrong. Everybody don't like that you wrong. You just like you just
Yes.
a person. But sometimes we did like I had to do my shadow work and be like, I did do some things, throughout my life that, I could see and I can understand on other side. So the accountability allows us to like change. You can't change without being
Yes.
accountable. So,
And the problem with that is that people attach the entity from other people into their own being. So that's why people can't even take accountability by themselves because they don't understand that they think they're still being perceived. They think that they're being perceived even when they're alone in their room to the point where they can't say, damn, I was wrong. Why can't you just say that even if you don't believe it? It's nobody watching you. But because they're so attached to how people look at them, they can't even do certain things and say certain things by themselves because they still believe it might get out somehow. That's why it's important to be vulnerable with yourself. Say things that you don't even believe just to break the barriers that you don't even realize that you're carrying up. Go to the mirror and say, I'm gay. Say I'm a rapist. Like it's like say a lot of things that you don't believe, but that is so demonized by reality, just so you can target what's being held up, even when nobody's looking. That's where you really can find out who you truly are. Is when you destroy your ego with yourself. You destroy and just like become the worst person possible in your own eyes just so you can find out that you're the best person possible. So you can find out your true power and believing that you are who you say you are. Say everything that you're not so you can be who you are.
but
It
that's
takes a strong person to do that.
yeah, shedding the ego is definitely not an easy thing. I was watching our kid's video and he was saying something about like, we are not our mind. So it's like our mind thinks things and we have to watch our mind. Like there's two
Hmm.
people in our head. It's our mind and it's us. So every time we see something, our mind gets thoughts. That's not us. Our mind, we get
Yes.
right now, our mind gonna get thoughts. Now we see a big gay nigga, our mind gonna start talking crap. But that we
Right.
gotta watch those thoughts because that's not really
Right.
us. Our mind just
Exactly.
talking. So our
That's the
mind,
entity that I said that came from other people's perceptions.
yeah.
It's like a being with no body that's in your thoughts.
Right. So once you understand that there's our whole life, there's always been because our body doesn't belong to us; it belongs to Earth. So us being in this body, the mind also belongs, like the brain also belongs to the Earth too. So our brain, our
Yeah.
brain is actually going to talk shit about everything.
Yeah.
Like if we see a person, if we see this, like people probably watching this and talking shit about me, like, this nigga, la 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 la. That's their brain. Yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Their brain is just naturally gonna say things, but if they're spiritual enough or conscious enough, they can watch those thoughts and realize they are not their thoughts. We are never
Facts.
we're just
Facts.
we're the watcher of our thoughts. So um
Exactly. And it's like your brain gonna brain for yourself too. It's gonna tell you a whole bunch of things that's what insecurity is. It's your brain talking about itself. We don't want to have negative thoughts, but somehow we still deal with negative thoughts. That's why you have to kill the brain by admitting it. Admit every negative thought. That's true. Yes, that's true. Or things about to be so bad. Like think that in your head, like fuck. It's gonna realize like damn, I was only surviving off the resistance. Now that he accepted me, he has more control because the whole life he been fighting me. So now when you accept everything that your brain is saying, even if it's not true, nigga, add on to what he's saying. Like, yeah, I do this too. I do that too. Then you're gonna realize, like, hold on, I've been in control this whole time. Now it's over with. Now it's done. The brain is dead because all it wanted to do was come out. Now that it come out, you use the power that it had to stay alive and you use it for your own life now. Now you have an extra power in your brain because you don't have two thoughts no more. You don't have the bad and the good. It's only the good. You
mhm,
can only get that though if you go through the bad.
the bad. Yeah. Yeah, that's what meditation comes in, and just anything just to kind of like watch your thoughts, because like I said, that mind is going to think what it wants to. It's always going to have its own thoughts, and the brain is just like it's like we have like we got to put our mind on a different. We got to label our mind different well, not our mind. So every time we
Hmm.
get thoughts, a label that okay, that's not our thought. That's just part of our brain. Just think what it think. Once you get to that level of detachment, and it was like even I remember I was talking about this a while ago, but we are not our problems. You know what I'm saying? We identify with our problems. That's why we have so many problems because we keep identifying. Oh, this is my problem. This is not your problem. This is just a problem. It's not your problem. So we
Facts.
identify with our problems and we attach ourselves to our problems. But we gotta just watch life and experience, like we should experience our thoughts and to watch our thoughts because we're really just a watcher of everything. So uh,
Facts.
yeah, everybody has a different meditation practice. Some people like to journal. Some people like to go in nature. Some people like to read books. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I used to read a lot of books. Right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be on ChatGPT. That's where I learn all.
Hmm.
Like all day long, I ask ChatGPT questions like ChatGPT, what does this mean about this, bro? Like all I do,
Yeah,
ChatGPT, my book,
ChatGPT helpful as hell.
bro.
That shit is
That's
overly
like
helpful,
that's
bro.
advanced knowledge. Like
Yeah, I just don't
I
trust
gotta
that
read the book.
motherfucker. That shit too good. I
Yeah,
don't
for
trust
real.
it, bro. Like, come on now. Like, I feel like what's the balance of ChatGPT? Everything got a balance.
Yeah,
Like, what's the bad to ChatGPT? But I still
right.
use that shit.
Yeah. ChatGPT is new. The people are getting smarter off that. So it's like ChatGPT. It's more progressive. It's more advanced than a book because a
Hmm.
book doesn't update. The Bible doesn't update. You know what I'm saying? Those are still good things, but they don't update. ChatGPT updates.
Right.
Is
Right.
it Asia equation is progressive. So like there's a lot of speed, there's a lot of progressiveness, advancing. So that's why it's like I can ask ChatGPT to send me a whole article right now or a whole book on how to learn about how to speak Creole, and it'll tell me this faster than a book will.
Yes.
Like, so now of
That
course
shit
people
is
gonna
crazy.
argue, be like, man, a book's more natural. Of course, reading is more. You read out of a book, it's stress free because you don't got the blue light and all that. That's definitely good, but never
Hmm.
underestimate the. I tell people never underestimate technology because technology is like people demonize it, but there is a good side to it. People
Of
get rich off it.
course.
People, and so yeah,
That's the reason why we're here now, because of technology. Information, you feel what I'm saying? All kind
yeah,
of
the
shit,
internet,
technology. That's why I
right?
say it's a good and bad to everything. I just don't trust the bad to ChatGPT. Because the better it is, the worse it actually is. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I just know eventually it's gonna come out, but
yeah,
God wouldn't have us doing nothing that's gonna fuck us up. So that's what made me feel comfortable.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you had
yeah.
said something about journaling. I want to touch on how journaling really changed my life. Like I always heard about journaling, but it's more than just journaling. When you hear journaling, you think that you're talking to yourself. It's not just that. When you have a notebook and a pen, you're literally just writing down your thoughts. Write down your thoughts, and you will realize how a lot of thoughts is not real. You will realize how a lot of thoughts has a solution, but because your brain is so unorganized, you will never find the solution in your brain. So you have to take it out your brain and write it down. That's why the average person reading this thinking that can't help me, because your brain is coming up with its own solution saying that won't help. I got to do this, I got to do that. But you don't even realize you don't even know the solution to your problems. If you write it down, it might seem simple, but it will go a long ass way. Like, I was writing down, Rell, why aren't you rich? I wrote down the reasons why I'm not rich and how to get rich. And I realized, like, oh my God, if I just take action, I can get rich in a couple months. It's that simple. Write down why you're suffering these problems and write down how to fix the problems. And you will literally see how easy it was the whole time. But because your overthinking occurs, you go through so many solutions and then a problem. It's like a solution and problem because it's in your brain. Your shit just wonders. If you put it down, it's only black and white. It's only a problem and a solution. People need the journal, bro. That shit would change everything. I have 3 full journals of me just writing down shit every single day. I love the journal. I replace social media with journaling.
Journaling is journaling because I feel like journaling what it does is journaling makes sure it sharpens your throat chakra. I journal like all
Yeah.
the time too, so it's like a lot of the times I had talked to this one therapist, not a therapist, she's like a counselor, right? I did an interview with her, right? And she was saying that the most blocked chakra is the throat chakra and the whole thing
Mm,
because people lie, people don't express themselves, people are not authentic. Authenticity rules your throat chakra. People,
yeah.
scared to be express themselves, they're scared of judgment. Like maybe
Yeah.
a lot of insecurity, a lot of issues is your throat chakra. Like
Yeah.
99%
Exactly.
of like
You know
social
what's
issues.
crazy? Not to cut you though. The throat chakra is the result of a confident being. And the only
Yeah,
reason why people are scared of what they say, they're not scared of what they say, they're scared of how it will be received because the uncomfort comes up. So if you want to say something and you don't say it because you know you're going to feel uncomfort, that's why I said become one with the uncomfort. And that's how you open your throat chakra. Because now when you say something, you're not scared of the outcome because you're already one with everything you could feel. That's why all you have to do is just feel the uncomfort and you will be able to say everything confidently. That's the
right.
real key to confidence is feeling the negative. So now you're not scared of the negative.
Negative. Yeah. So when you journal, you're constantly talking to yourself and you're exercising those thoughts. Because when you don't say what you want to say, it bottles up and you start to come
Yeah.
on. And now you like get all angry later. It's like it creates issue later on when you don't
Yeah.
say what you want to say. So journaling keeps a open channel and it keeps an open. You're constantly channeling your energy in journal. It's like
Facts.
especially like like you being a Scorpio or we're men, we got like testosterone, so our energy builds up. So it's like we gotta constantly channel, especially if you practice heat retention sometimes. Like energy can be intense, so we gotta constantly channel our energy to something, whether it's a gym or whatever,
Hmm.
or something or journaling. Cause
Yeah.
don't we gonna start tripping a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Testosterone is a
Fact.
very aggressive hormone. So it's about being healthy. And I feel like a lot of people who do go crazy, that they don't channel their energy right. Like, they go to, they just
Fact.
constantly going crazy and crashing out. Like, for instance, my
Yeah.
son, he had a very strong throat chakra. He wore a lot of blue crystals, you know what I'm saying? So he studied the throat chakra very closely, and this is why he was so like
Blunt.
operative and blunt.
Yeah.
Blunt. He didn't care what no one said. He had arguably one of the biggest platforms in the conscious community that was rising because of his throat chakra. You know how hard it is just to. But he's a Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules that throat chakra, very blunt, most blunt sign. So like it shows like the throat chakra. There is always going to be, and I've talked to a lot of mentors about this. When you're on your spiritual journey, you got something glow about you, and you got like there's always going to be opposition. That's just natural
Yeah.
for what you got positive light. People gonna come at you with negative light. That's just fact. So
Yeah.
it's like when your throat chakra is open, you're able like the throat chakra is not just like a teaching tool, it's also a weapon to like let people
Yeah.
know. I'm still gonna speak my mind. I'm still gonna be myself, and it's yeah, it's the throat chakra. I used to think when I woke up, I thought it was a easy chakra, but now I learned it's like one of the hardest chakras.
Yes, bro. Cause your throat, Diddy, your throat would change everything. Like your throat changes the reality around you. If I
Yeah,
want, the only reason why we're here is because of words. The only reason why my life changed is because of words. If I want somebody to come here, I say come here. I change the reality with my throat. So as great power comes great responsibility, and that's why
yeah,
you have to become one with your negative emotions to open your throat chakra.
yeah,
You have to trust
yeah.
yourself. And I wanted to say
Even
something about what you go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say even people like us, us being out on the internet, this shows that we have a certain level in our throat chakras. Because I'm pretty sure when
Right.
we you meet people all the time. They're like, man, I want to do YouTube, but I'm scared people say and this and that.
Exactly.
I used to be like that. I was like, man, I don't know, man, la 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 la, you know. And then
Yeah.
I kind of like I studied myself through astrology. I seen certain placements in my chart that was like, yo, you can, you're a leader, you know what I'm saying? I just thought to put myself out there, and it was hard at first, you know what I'm saying? I used to like when I was young, I used to stutter. I used to have the worst stuttering issues ever. Like I
Yeah.
would say like the same word like 7 times, but now I'm able to like actually have a full sentence and I'm able to articulate myself a
Hell
lot.
yeah. Bro, I was the same way, bro. A lot of people didn't know, bro. Had my biggest insecurity was my speech, even as I was being real chosen. But that,
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't understand that all stuttering is just tension in your face. It's the fact that every time you talked, you cringed because you thought that you was gonna say something wrong or you thought that you was gonna stutter. So because of that, your brain associates talking with uncomfort. So it tries to subconsciously get it out quick before it feels uncomfort. But you getting it out quick will make you stutter even more. That's why it's always about feeling the uncomfortable emotions. So now your brain is not scared of nothing. You can move slower, you can talk slower, all the tension is lowered. Bars. But I realized that on this journey, your nervous system is your God. People don't understand how powerful a healthy nervous system is because that's your true God. A lot of people are Christians, they're spiritual, they have the best relationship with God. Guess what happens when you get mad? All of that shit goes out the window. Your nervous system takes over, and now that's why you kill people with impulse. You might crash out with impulse, but you might be the best person when everything is going good. When you're happy, you're able to live through God, live through peace. But as soon as you get mad, that same nervous system that you've been avoiding, all that pain that you put to the back of your head, now it has a mind of its own. That's why, in order to heal, you have to sit with those angry and uncomfortable and nasty emotions and bring them out and sit with them. So now, when you get mad again, you will be more clear-minded. That's how you heal. You heal through trauma. You heal through negativity. You don't heal through meditation and peace because the peace is what got you going when you're good. It's the negativity that's going to help you when things go bad. You
yeah,
feel what I'm
right.
saying? It's the
Yeah.
nervous system. That's the main key, bro.
The nervous system. Yeah, the nerve. Okay, the nerve. Yeah, I've been learning about the nervous system too, like certain herbs, like Alabama, and fully basically calm the nerve down. Because
Hmm.
yeah, like a lot of people they start like they have negative thoughts, negative emotions, but they can like certain herbs, and those herbs really calm it down.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes it easier, but it doesn't go nowhere. You feel what I'm saying? Like it may make it calmer, but you can still get really mad through all the herbs. That's why the best way to calm it down is through the uncomfortable emotions. It's the
Uncomfortable. Yeah,
hardest part. It's not easy. God made it not easy on purpose.
yeah. The more natural, the better. Yeah, I definitely
Hmm.
see. Yeah,
Like,
certain
for
people.
example, for I was
Yeah,
gonna say real quick, for example, like a lot of people can't sit in silence. A lot of people get awkward quick because their nervous system starts to come up when things are silent. That's why people might say anything just to cover up the silence, but they don't realize when you cover up the silence, what you're saying is more awkward than you sitting in silence. That's why you have to be quiet and let your nervous system come up. Feel the awkwardness so you can be your true self again. But we keep running from these emotions and we're making it worse. That's why it's good to have a good relationship with your nervous system so you can sit in the silence and become your true self.
and they say like also like trust how you feel around people because your nervous system talks as well. So
Facts.
that also plays a big role. Like I know, like there was a point where like I was like I was having like multiple relationships. Like just going through my relationships. With women and stuff, and like it would be like certain women, bro. I was like I don't know, bro. Like I'll get like I would argue with them like daily, and I'm like what's going on? Like what is this like? And I realized, bro, they I just like, we just wasn't meant to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like now I'm talking to a woman, I'm talking to a chick, and now it's like she a cancer, so she saying she really like nice, like she mellow, she chill, so I could be around her and I'm calm, I be calm all the time, like I'm
Hmm.
not as I used to be. When I was talking to the other one before, I was always fiery, like I was always on my toes, always ready to go, but
Yeah.
like they were like I don't know, like some people like I guess like your nervous system talks to you. So when my around this, my nervous system probably just didn't really feel good. I ain't probably happy like that. But now around this person, I feel like they always say a woman has to feel safe, but a man has to feel safe too. He has to feel
Yeah.
grounded, for her,
Yeah.
he wants to protect her. So around this person, I feel like I feel like good. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to protect this person because they make me feel good. Man,
Exactly.
man to want to protect a woman, she has to make them feel good, you know,
Right.
and
Right.
yeah,
See, look, a lot of people don't understand, bro. A happy wife is a happy life. A happy
right,
husband is a happy wife. You feel what I'm saying? So, what I learned is arguments are pointless in relationships and they occur the most. Us as men are logical, females are emotional. So, if a man is trying to prove his point, he already lost. You try to get with her to understand you, and if she's so emotional, she's rowdy, she's not understanding you, you have to sacrifice your need to be validated and you have to discomfort her emotions. Have her ease up and then say it in a different way. The goal is to get y'all on the same page, not for y'all to be right. In her head, she wants to be right. In your head, you want to be understood. But it's not always about being understood. It's about having a happy relationship. So that's why, in order to ease the tension in the nervous system and ease the tension between y'all, we have to like sacrifice and compromise our natural urge to be validated and understood and just be there for our emotions. Because if she's happier, you will be happier. You don't
yeah,
really
yeah,
care about getting your point across. You just in the moment. So now it's like, man, now y'all on a silent treatment. Now it's real life tension building between y'all. Well, all
right,
you have to
right,
do is say, you know what, you right, babe. I ain't even think about it that way. Now she's more lighter. Now her tension is down. And now y'all talking. And then you can probably like bring it up in an easier way and get her to understand what you were saying. Now she
yeah,
understands because it's not tension no more. So you feel
not
what I'm
tension,
saying, bro? That's
yeah,
like the
yeah.
cheat code in relationships. So I'm telling you.
So you're saying like make sure like you know this validation, validate your
Say,
partner.
say it again.
You're saying validating your partner.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
and do that in a way to where it might not validate you. You feel what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
'Cause you got to
That's
impose
something.
mine.
Yeah, that is something too. Because I know there's like I made a video about this. In relationships, is communication is like the biggest thing. Because like
Of
if
course.
somebody's talking to you and like you're not listening, that really makes people like that's like
Yes.
number one people not like you. Like you're not listening. So like I know that
Yes.
it's like key, but at least you validate them. You let them know like, yeah, I'm listening, babe. You know, so I got you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people like y'all. People will have good chemistry, but if they have bad communication, it's like it's done.
That throws everything out the window. It could be a
Right.
small conversation, but cause a big problem in that good chemistry.
And that
Just
good
because
chemistry.
y'all couldn't sacrifice the nerve, the need to be validated or right. Now you ruin something so big because you wanted to be right about what y'all wanted to eat. Just let her have it, bro. She's a girl. She wants to feel good. She don't care about.
Yeah.
She don't respect you at all by proving your point. She actually looks at you as an enemy. Her brain looks at you as an enemy. The more that you're right, so now she want to prove you wrong because she don't like being defeated. So it's okay to let her have it and be vulnerable most of the time, unless it's something serious.
Yeah, yeah. And it's also a big thing about like going where you feel safe too. And that's a big thing I learned too. Because like if you around a partner and y'all like argue all the time, it feels like a war zone. Where y'all like, oh man, we gonna get through it. This is normal. Nah, that ain't like it should not feel like a war zone. It should feel like a safe.
Exactly.
So I was not
Exactly.
like, you know, like if y'all competitive, like that's a big thing in the war. If y'all are really competitive and will get
Yeah, bro. Oh my God, that will ruin all the love,
all
all
the
the
love.
real charm moments. Yes.
Yeah, the honeymoon gonna die. It's like y'all really
Yes.
tearing through the passion and just destroying the relationship. So
Because now it's ego. It's no love no more. It's
it's
all
ego.
ego.
It's all ego, right? It's like so that like I was definitely one of those too. Like you know, through my connection, it was just like this just jealousy and competition. Like it was, but it's hidden though. Women are
Right.
like you know,
Exactly.
passionate, so they're not gonna tell you it. They're gonna hide it.
Exactly.
So I was like, it was like hidden jealousy and hidden games, and I was like, oh man, like you know. So I had to find somebody who was like more like secure, and I felt safe around them. You know, more gentle. They not like you know aggressive as much. They don't got a temper. And that's another thing. Like if you got a temper as a male, you should be around a woman who doesn't have a temper. You know,
Yeah.
'cause that's what I'm bound to. Naturally, I do got a temper, but you know what I'm saying. When I'm around somebody who doesn't, it's like and my temper goes away. So it's like
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So it's like being around somebody who's like I believe being around somebody who's opposite of you. So I want to like balance it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what makes the relationship whole. When y'all both opposites, y'all can make it whole. But it's
balance.
about like not having opposites to where it's not beneficial. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
don't want somebody to hear that and just think that, oh, this person is the exact opposite of me. Let's get together. No. You
right,
should see that
right.
in your
And
reflection.
sometimes being with somebody who's just like you is like actually bad. I've done that before.
Yeah, y'all
You
gonna
know, we just
clash
like,
heads all the time.
oh my god, for real. Cause y'all got everything in common. Like everything's in common. So it's like it's really like you. Like I had met a chick, bro, and she had like the same birth chart as me, bro.
Mm.
Like the same everything, same sun sign, same moon sign. Like everything was the same, and it was like it was good at first, and then we realized, yo, this person just like the way their weaknesses like me. It's just like it was so weird. I don't know if it was harmony or what it was, but I just like it didn't last. But that shit was crazy, man. But yeah, we all go through. Everybody has a different path. And I feel like some people they learn themselves through
hundred
relationships.
percent. Yeah, that's how I got so wise from relationships because I learned it through experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, man.
I will
Yeah,
always like argue with my girl and just like I
yeah,
learned so much from arguments, and I'm just like, okay, this
right,
is how I fix it. You feel what I'm saying?
bro.
I actually,
Arguing will
huh?
keep you broke. Arguing will keep you broke.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Because you're just trying to validate yourself. That's all it is. You're trying to get
yeah,
satisfaction from a
right.
temporary argument. Fuck the satisfaction. You want the love. You want the good vibes. Just let her have it, bro. That's what I learned. Because at the end of the day, y'all will forget what y'all argued about, but y'all won't forget the tension. So don't try to be right because you're building tension in the journey of being right. You want to
Yeah.
just have the love. Like, you know what? It's not even that deep. Okay, I'm tripping. Just have the good vibes, bro. That would save
Yeah.
so many
That's
relationships.
another thing too. Yeah, what you're saying, beliefs, bro. If you're with somebody and they like have cognitive dissonance really strongly, and they like, let's say you're with a girl and y'all are always arguing about beliefs. Oh, I believe this, she believes this, and that's gonna affect the relationship up. So it's
Man,
like
but
next thing I'm in now is like we don't even like we have similar beliefs, and that's not good. But even if we don't, we don't even try to like, just be low. We're like light. You gotta be light with your woman. Like you can't be heavy.
100.
No,
Yeah,
you gotta be light as a feather. So it's like even if
exactly.
y'all like you got it's basically harmony. Like harmony is a big thing. And if y'all like are trying to go to war over y'all beliefs and y'all like, oh, why would you believe like if she takes it personal that you don't believe something, that's not usually a good thing. And you too, if you take it personal that she doesn't believe in something, maybe she's not for you. So sometimes
Mhm.
we all gotta go through trials and errors of like who's the right woman and shit and who's the right man for us, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just tired of the gender war. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, facts.
being a black man in America, the black woman attacked us still. You know what I'm saying? Black men attack us like we being attacked by our own people because we're a black man. A black man is like you know what I'm saying? It's a black man, it's a black man in America. That's a real thing, a black man in America. So it's like you really like it's like oh, it's just you versus the world kind of in a way. So like
Facts.
I like to think like that. I like to think that the world is in my favor. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day, sometimes it is, you know what I'm saying, me versus the world. I gotta understand like damn, like it's like that's how it is sometimes. So we
yeah,
gotta understand that like we need a safe zone. And that's like our woman, she allows us to be a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more safe because the world is like, especially the internet. The internet is undefeated. It's ruthless. It's like a war zone sometimes. So you gotta understand, the internet is like a lot of people who go on the internet, like you were saying, young girl, they get like mental. They start to lose their mind a little bit. Like they start going crazy, and a lot of
yeah.
people, the internet destroys their mind. They get a lot of mental health issues. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's facts, bro.
yeah. How was the interview? I saw you interview young girl. What would you say like you learned from that interview and stuff like that?
That this nigga lost his mind. Like, bro,
Yeah,
I feel like in the interview with Young Pharaoh, bro, I realized that his self awareness is kind of gone because he didn't realize when he got off track. You know what I'm saying? I realized that like his articulation is there, his passion is there, his energy is still there, but his mind and his ability to be able to be self aware on what people how people is perceiving him and what he's saying, I realized that that's gone. It's not a bad thing that he lost his mind because that's his journey. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And if you lost your mind, you will never know that you lost your mind because in your head, you know what you're doing. But he started talking about so many different things that I'm like, this is not the question I asked, and this has no relevance to nothing going on. And it's okay, you know what I'm saying? That's his journey. He has things to
yeah,
learn in this journey. To this young Pharaoh, he has a chosen essence. It might
yeah,
take a year, 2 years, 3 years, but he's going to come back to understand, like, okay, I'm tripping. But that takes vulnerability and that takes accountability. And like a lot of people that's like strong like that has a strong voice and a strong passion, that's the hardest thing for them to do because their essence comes from being so powerful, being so confident. So him saying I was wrong or I'm tripping or I lost my mind, that might be a long time. But it was
Yeah,
beautiful being able to,
I know some
chop it
people.
up with a legend.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely a legend. Shout out to Young Pharaoh. I know some people are saying he's stuck in a loop right now because we all get negative phases. Like we all get like just we all have our demon time and negative phases, but he's stuck in it. Like he's like in a loop. He can't get out of it. So
I feel like it's just
that's
longer.
like, huh?
It's just taking him longer. It's not really stuck
Yeah,
because he's the chosen one. So it's just it might be a lot longer. It might look like it's stuck for us, but God
yeah,
got him in that still for a reason.
right. Yeah. Once he gets out of it, I know he's gonna bounce back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, they don't. He'll bounce back. He'll be better
For
when he comes
sure.
back.
For sure.
Yeah. So, is there any other topics that you want to wrap up?
Um, so basically I just want to say like uh I'm about to make a lot of changes, you know what I'm saying? So I just want people to trust my intention, trust that I know what I'm doing, even if it looks like I'm going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
cause I'm in a journey of trusting God, trusting the unknown, and sacrificing my ego. And everything that I have made came from my ego. So if I'm trusting God and He tells me to like do this and do that, and I'm posting this or whatever, like Arcade, he just posted a video in his drawers. He don't. People don't know that that has been strategically planned. Like we've been on the phone planning all this shit. In the comments saying he lost his mind, humiliation ritual, something seems off, but he knew exactly what he was doing. So that showed me that when it comes to sacred downloads and when it comes to challenging your ego and jumping into the unknown, the world will never understand it. And it's not meant for them to understand. So I'm telling my people and the people that love and trust me that even if it may not look like I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing because I'm trusting my divine power. So other than that, bro, um, I'm just confident in this journey. I know things about to look a lot better. I know a lot of people is about to reach their highest self now in this era, whatever we in, about being authentic and challenging their old self. And yeah, other than that, bro, I just appreciate you for letting me on here. You feel what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody for still rocking with me, and I'm about to just take off as much as I can.
Yes, yes, man. I appreciate you, real. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you definitely, when it comes to the spiritual or just even the conscious world on Instagram, you definitely have one of the best voices. And not even saying like just being truthful. Like you definitely have one of those voices when people hear you talk, they listen to your voice. You know what I'm saying? Because
Appreciate that, bro.
you have a good perspective on things. And like I said, you do break those limitations of like the spiritual community. You don't just be like shock. You don't talk about chakra all day. You talk about like, the consonants and the celebrity. People want to change things. A lot of people who are spiritual, they still have a capital in them sometimes. Not the
Yeah,
chosen one. So when you become a
yeah,
celebrity, you're able to reach a bigger audience of the world,
right,
that wakes more people up. So you're able to wake more people up
exactly,
through the true audiences. So that's definitely like
exactly.
for that expansion, and also like the authenticity. You motivate other people just to be themselves, because all the fake stuff and all the like people just like not really kind of like put on a facade. All that stuff starts to like weigh on the ego, and authenticity is a very light vibration because you're not trying to fit in another frame. It's very light. So yeah,
You're
when
not
you're
trying to
authentic,
keep nothing up and you don't want nothing.
right, you're free.
Authenticity is where you're not trying to keep nothing up and you're not trying to gain nothing. So you have no
Yeah,
choice but to be present. It all goes
yeah,
back to the present moment.
yeah. The present moment is powerful. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
bro. So
All
yeah,
right.
bro.
All right, we're gonna definitely catch up another time. But
Most
you
definitely.
want a part three? This is Rell Chosen, second episode on Beyond 5D by Astro I. Ashe, we love you guys. Ashe,
My God.
peace,
Appreciate it, brother, man.
peace, brother. All
Yes,
right.
sir.